Welcome to Myers Counseling Group Podcast. We offer mental health, substance abuse, and wellness information for the community. To find out more information and to access previous podcasts and other resources, visit us at myerscounseling.com. Hello, for today's podcast, I'm going to introduce Sandy Carmichael from Options for Health. Sandy, could you explain a little bit about yourself and the services you provide?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today here, Mark. I own two wellness centers, one located in McHenry, one located in Marengo. We are a body, mind, spirit wellness center, believing that true healing takes place on all levels. The body is a very intricate being, that is, everything is interconnected. And so for true healing, you need to look at all levels. We do, a variety of things, including the biofeedback we'll be talking about today. Our website, if anybody's interested in checking us out, is www.myoptions4health.com. Phone numbers for Marengo, 815-568-1444, or McHenry, 815-363-7007. We've been in Marengo for 10 years, and we've been at the McHenry office for 5 years now.
Now, one of the services you mentioned that you provide is biofeedback. Could you tell me what exactly is biofeedback?
Okay, certainly. There are a variety of different types of biofeedback on the market. I'm going to actually read a technical description. Biofeedback operates on the premise that we have the innate ability and potential to influence the automatic functions of our bodies through the exertion of will and mind. In biofeedback, people are trained to exercise control over the way their bodies work, especially over the way their bodies react to stress. The particular machine I work with is based on quantum physics, based on electromagnetic frequency. There are so many different types of biofeedback. Basically, it means feedback, giving you information about your body. You could step on something as simple as a scale, and that's a form of biofeedback. It's telling you how much you weigh. Or you take your temperature. That's a very simple form of biofeedback. Your body's telling you your temperature. The machine I work with, I've been doing it for about 8 years. Again, based on electromagnetic frequency. It tests the stressed or imbalanced areas of the body.
So it seems what you're saying is that people may experience biofeedback in different forms and ways throughout their life.
That's absolutely correct. There are just a lot of ways you wouldn't think about, and that's just a simple form of biofeedback. Biofeedback, as I think most people think about it, did start up again early 60s. The word biofeedback was coined decades ago to describe laboratory procedures being used to train experimental research subjects in altering brain activity, blood pressures, heart rates, and other bodily functions. Just trying to do that through this biofeedback or different pieces of equipment. So, but it does. There are many, many different ways that you don't think about. So, absolutely correct.
Sandy, could you explain a little bit about your machine and how it works?
Absolutely. It's based on quantum physics. The developer of the machine is a Dr. Bill Nelson. It's been around for about 20 years, but the man who developed this was such a brilliant person that when he was in, I believe, early 20s, helped with his algorithms bring down Apollo 13. I mean, that's how brilliant he is. So it started out first as the name EPFX, and then it's gone through different names. Right now, it's called, the machine I'm particularly working with is called the SCIO biofeedback machine. And the premise of it is everything in the universe has an electrical frequency or is based on frequency. Everything in the universe is energy. That was determined, Einstein said, MC squared equal energy. Therefore, everything is energy vibrating at different rates. And this Dr. Nelson came up with, somehow in his brilliant mind, how to come up with the perfect frequency of 10,000 some different items that would affect a person's health care. And again, at the holistic approach at all levels. It could be something emotional, it could be something nutritional, it could be some type of toxin that you might have been exposed to. In somewhere we hold all these things in our body. So during a test on the SCIO machine, you would come into the office, a very relaxed atmosphere. You have a band put around your head and wrist and ankle straps. There's a testing period where, and there's also an extensive computer software program where the perfect frequency of this 10,000 some items are downloaded into the machine. I make sure I have a good connection with the person, and then we run a test of these frequencies against the person's frequencies, and therefore looking for simply stress.
And for how long do people usually go for biofeedback? How long are the sessions for?
A normal session is about an hour. We found that energetically, and I think one thing I forgot to mention before is beyond looking for stressed or imbalanced areas, this particular machine will send the frequency back into the person, like the perfect frequency. Let's say if it's vitamin B1 or something, or the perfect frequency of a small colon or something. So it starts like a healing process also. I wanted to mention that. So the person's going to walk away with some information such as, okay, you might need to take vitamin B1, you might need a probiotic, or maybe you just need to learn how to de-stress. You need massage, you need counseling, whatever you need. So you receive like a healing energetically. And my point kind of going back to the body will only shift its energies about an hour is about the longest you can do, and that's what's suggested. To go any longer than that in a day is kind of wasted. So about an hour for one session.
What's a typical length of treatment? How long do people usually participate in biofeedback services?
Actually, that's an individual choice. It's a wellness program. Options for Health is all about wellness. It's about what are some simple things you can do to stay well. So I would suggest if a person is coming in and is pretty healthy, maybe coming in a couple times a year, just kind of see where you're at, test what's out of balance. But if somebody's really dealing with some difficult issues and they're already in a state of illness or imbalance, whatever you want to call it, I would suggest like once a month is a good program to be on.
Sandy, what types of problems would one use a biofeedback machine for? What do you typically see people for in helping them with biofeedback?
Okay, literally there isn't any imbalance of the body that couldn't be addressed by this particular biofeedback machine I have. Some of the common things that I do work with are just pain, addictions, people who want to lose weight, depression, trauma, digestive disorders, hormone imbalances, but a lot of just general health and wellness too.
Sandy, explain a little bit more about your role in this. What do you do? How important are you in this process? What's your relationship between you and the machine and the client? Well,
developing a good rapport with the client is very important so that they trust me and know I care. You have to be like a coach. Literally, if I'm looking at somebody who has pages of things or imbalances of the body, I don't want to overload them. So we tend to work together as a coach. What are a couple of things you can start shifting in your life? This is what I'm seeing. You're not going to change 20 things overnight. Can we pick a couple of things that you can start shifting so that you can start feeling better? So I work with them, and you do use intuition also, because there's I see so much vast information going across the screen that I'm looking intuitively, listening to my intuition, listening to them, watching the machine, and going on that also, but actually just trying to coach them and see what are you willing to do, how far are you willing to go. Some people are ready to just jump right in, and some people are just only willing to make a few minor changes, and we work with them wherever they're at.
Well, Sandy, I really want to thank you for coming here and explaining to us about biofeedback. Now, once again, if you could let us know the name of your machine and also how people may be able to contact you.
Yes, Mark, thanks for having me here today. It's been a pleasure. One of my passions in life is teaching about natural wellness and that there are a lot of options out there, which is how I came up with the name for my business, Options for Health. I can be reached at 815-568-1444. That's our Marengo office, or our McHenry office on Bow Valley Road, 815-363-7007. And thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.